Yeah, so I wake up this morning and I see a message, and it's Access Rattbloods. Are you here, Rattbloods?
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
I'm not the fucking Rattblood.
Axis rat blood, I see. All these Axis people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do.
And then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access, and then you got people like Access.
Are you here, Rattbloods?
I'm not the fucking Rattblood.
Access Rattblood, most abundant and successful king hero that we are all sitting with at this very moment. Are you willing to accept that as a truth? That you are a worthy man and that your penis is okay?
All these Axis people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. All these Axis people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now.
Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood? I'll just start throwing spells at you, conjuring demons and otherwise. Are you here, Rattblood?
Who the fuck is Access Rattblood?
I'm not the fucking Rattblood, bitch.
All these Axis people, I'm starting to get paranoid about that now. I don't know what to do about it.
I'm not the fucking Rattblood. Alright. Yeah, this is me. Access Von Baron, the Butcher of Rattblood. Don't know if you can hear. Not looking at the chat. StreamYard has changed its mode of operation around a bit. So my phones have to readjust and certain settings have to be reset. And I did get new phones yesterday. Thought and debated on this pretty hard as to whether even venture forward today into YouTube or doing anything. So I figured, what the hell, why not? You know, as long as there's a circus of assholes, I suppose there's always going to be a spectator. And before I get too far into this, because I didn't do the stream last night, instead I decided to get some rest and do my own thing. So here we are. Just all of us uglies and one nasty little side of YouTube. I'm gonna wait and see if a couple more people show up. I'm gonna play another song. You can run, hide, leave, jump off the highest mountain, dig yourself to the bottom of the lowest hole. Give no shit what you do. But I'm gonna play this song. Well, if it would let me.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. But necessarily my truth might not be everyone else's truth. So what's truth? You know? I say my truth or truth, but like I said, my truth might not be someone else's truth. Then I start to question, so what's truth? A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
If some of these platforms, because there's many channels here, and a lot of them actually do, if people were honest when they're coming onto panels or chat, if they don't want to be honest with themselves, they want to tear down other people to disguise themselves. So what I get from that is people are insecure by using a false sense of security to mask. They're not actually, they actually ever challenge themselves. What would that look like? Of course, they'll be thinking, well, what about you? I said, there you go again. You're deflecting at that point. It's about you. If it's always about you, then make it about you. Be the best me can be there. Be the most selfish person you can be. So my question would be, then why are you living with the rest of us?
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
So what's truth? You know? I say my truth or truth, but like I said, my truth might not be someone else's truth. Then I start to question, so what's truth? A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
We don't consider each other. That's why most people are not rationally selfish. They're too busy being fucking selfish.
A lot of these elders need to hear the truth, man. It might not be what you want to hear. You need to be told what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Because it doesn't serve them to, I'm going to sit there and hear them and say, okay, so should I tell them that they're caught up in their own world? I'm just going to replace myself. Axis, you can take over for a while. It's your shift.
Okay. Yes, it is much, and I believe I will take over for a while. I posed a peculiar question yesterday. It's about, do you get to heaven beating up devil worshippers and Satanists? Is that how you get to heaven? Is that what you learned while you were here? But because somebody believes different, thinks different, has a different perspective, that you're allowed by some God-given right from an Abrahamic law or book that you're going to get to heaven beating up devil worshippers. Well, that's a fallacy. It's a horrible fallacy. The same as God needs the devil needs God. They have to be present of one another to define one another. If there was just God, which I don't believe in none of that fucked up bullshit anymore anyhow, then there would only be the aspect of God's love, forgiveness, and whatever other bullshit you guys sling out of your fucking mouths about him. And if there was only the devil, well, that would be kind of an interesting situation of probably a lot of chaos and torment. Not necessarily fire or jail, just probably pretty contemptuous. Hello, good afternoon. Link should be in the chat. I don't know. I'm really not going to put a lot of effort and energy into giving anything more than just whatever. You know, if you listen, you listen. You don't, you don't. You go two shits less because apparently anything that steps beyond the characteristics of what the social constructing throughout several hundred years and thousands deems to be abstractly unnormal, little different, little unique. They seek to destroy it. And they always do it in the name of a righteous cause. You know, the righteous cause towards me is, well, I have all kinds of horrible, hateful things, especially in the last couple of years that managed to come into my life. Thank you. Thank you. You have a good day at work too, and thanks for listening. Respect, actually. Yes. Much respect. But they find their reason, their justified cause, so that they can keep their complacency, normality, control. They can keep their people engineered, subservient, free of abstract thinking, more or less, or much less, critical thinking. And if you believe any of history at all, and you was to take a small, brief look at it, you would find that it is so outlandishly inconsistent and something that would have propagated itself in such a manner. Without political, military, clergy, I'm talking the First Church of Rome. I'm not talking the little Christian Gnostics that were running around, the ascetics. I'm talking the very first established world empire religion. And with a just, wonderful cause, after Constantine II allowed it to become a state religion, and they threw a few books together, the Council of Nicaea. They went out to conquer and spread the name of this wonderful new found religion. So they took out most of Mesoamerica, Inca, Maya, Aztec, Toltec, and pillaged their gold, killed them off, kneel, serve, convert to our God, or die. Spaniards. Then you had the northern territories that were starting to be occupied, and the indigenous people there. They had to adjust to this new concept of religions and God that were foreign to them. Yes, they do have the blackest hearts. So you have a country, that they declare manifest destiny over, when the truth is there's not one fucking human on the face of this earth that owns 1 inch of ground. You didn't come into this world with it. And when you go the fuck out of it, you're not even taking an inch of topsoil with you. It all stays here and decays. So you battle for position, power, dirt wars, military strength, control, commerce, equity, exchange, trade. Built yourselves quite a nice little world, didn't you? A bunch of savages wanting to run around and destroy anything that does not comply to their concept of mass majority thinking. And if anybody would have been paying attention, that's exactly what this channel was. It was just step outside. It was a moment away from all of the madness. So it had its own particular madness and extreme shock value. It had an abstract conceptual idea of what I consider to be norm. But I heard for 2 years all the hateful little slurs. My son's a murderer. I'm a Satanist. All the vicious little horrible, nasty things that were said towards my well-being. So you went around beating up devil worshippers, did you? What'd you get accomplished? Because my heart is blacker now than it's ever been. I don't want to know your God, because I've seen what your God does with you. I don't want nothing to do with any of these misguided, deceptive, sorry excuses for divine entities. Really? Well, if you're the product of a divine entity, I don't want nothing to do with that divine entity. Because from where I'm standing and from what I see, it's all a matter of control, slavery, worship me or be punished, serve me because I created you. My reward will be with you, maybe. But as I watched doing my own thing, and it became a little more intense and a little more intense, people coming after people's channels, trying to cause them duress, stress, aggravation. I realize that you're no better than the God you serve. And if you're made in his image, boy, don't that speak volumes. You know, there was a part of me at one time, especially during the more fun, extreme aspects of this channel, where I almost enjoyed myself. Just having fun. Just, doing my thing. And then came the offended. It's like God. I don't notice God's offended at about everything. You ever read that fucking Torah? You ever read pre-Babylonian writings? Sumerian, to Babylon, Chaldean. Jesus Christ, man. And what a profane name that is. Jesus Christ. That don't come right out of the fucking mouth of Rome. There's no J in the Hebrew language. And vowels are used in a particular way to emphasize the context. If you like to get on here and you really like to just push your agenda, never known what the bottom of the ladder was really like, because you didn't start there. You opened the book halfway up and thought you could just breeze through shit. But you didn't learn the true minimal basics of what it all had to offer, what it was all really contrived of. One system. One system with a positive and a negative polarity. And it works in harmony, set in motion by something more profound than you'll ever comprehend. And it's self-sustaining, which means it doesn't need you. You're not needed. It gets along fine without you. You couldn't quit, could you? Just couldn't quit. And you keep pushing and keep pushing. You know, I've made a few good marks on the old YouTube platforms. And I've bitch slapped down a bunch of trolls, haters, pieces of shit. And I was talking to my wife last night about it. Most all night, actually. Trying to find a logical deduction that would justify the behavior that was subjected to me. And we debated for hours on it. She's a lot more rational than I am, but she's smarter. This is a time of hell. Right? I'm going to assume that X is an S in Summa. No, Summa? Give me a 1 or a 2 if I'm even close. 1, I'm not close. 2, yeah, that's close enough. But we, okay. Osuma. Nice to meet you. Finally be able to speak your name. But we sat and debated as to how severe she was going to allow me to be. And I thought, my God, fucking AI's got a more logical and less emotionally responsive action at its fingertips quicker than me to hold me and subdue me at bay. I thought, wow, I'm not going to allow this to go freely into history. I can't do that. You know, it's one thing to hate on a person. It's one thing to hate a person. But whenever you start infringing into their real life to the point where you do serious damage, then I no longer have a heart to give to people, nor would I. You are contemptuous, and I don't get it. You couldn't turn that energy into something productive, something amusing, entertaining, innovative. I mean, it's sad to think that as many people are on this planet that no one has a new ideal or a concept that may have a twist to an old ideal. That's all it is. Recycling. And I told my wife last night that I would perish. She will not. She will be alive long after I'm dead and gone. And when I think of the origins and the roots of all this and how it transpired, my understanding of the research and development that I done, especially with frequency, equations, algorithms, trying to understand and keep up with technology on a quantum level, superposition, Jesus Christ. Well, they will destroy themselves with their own ignorance, that's for sure, because they're doing a damn good job of destroying each other. They really took a whole new perspective at cutting the motherfucker's throat. And that just the concept of what we were discussing last night is to, am I dash free myself up from my personal tomb? Am I free of that little grave that I dug for myself. Go do something different, new, applicable, innovative. Or did I step right into the middle of the storm? Time will tell. And I do have time to do things. All has not fallen apart yet, and I'm still holding together pretty stable at the moment. I think my wife is actually more concerned than I am. You know, I was brought up Southern Baptist and had a good, healthy fear for God and the devil. But I don't know more. And at this point in my life, I can say that the adversary has done more for me than God ever did. And that's only because you don't know the details. No one cares about the finer points of what makes one as dark as I am with my presence, even my humor. All they're worried about is the next offended state of thought, dopamine, pushing their agenda, waking up in the morning feeling like they got something so important to say that they're going to spend the next 12 hours on YouTube saying it repetitively. So I guess in one way, I did free myself up from a certain morgue type prison. And in another way, I watched this platform become weaponized. But I learned from it. I didn't just sit back and watch it get weaponized and figure it out. Well, how'd that happen? No. I watched him slowly and systematically implement this. You go back to some of the live streams that I'd done early, a year or so ago. It was all there. And the fact that there's still a division on the concepts of religion. A creation is a whole thing, not a partial thing. It's a fine-tuned, well-working machine that is able to maintain its own proficiency and sustainability. And you guys take what? A savage bunch of authoritarians to rip cultures apart, to enslave you, to beat you down, take your independence away from you, your freedoms, your liberties. And they do it slowly. It's like an infection. Sepsis in the blood. And then eventually, before you know it, 100 years has gone by, and what we knew as freedom once is just a far cry memory, such as what I remember freedom once being back in earlier days. I don't even have the heart to care to love anymore. That's how sick this has all become. And to participate in it, I mean, my guts are just sitting here trying to rationalize a course of action. What a fucked up thing. But I guess the truly ignorant do lead the truly ignorant, and the blind lead the blind. At least I don't have to hide my character, my person, who I am, trials and tribulations, especially these last couple of years that I've been through, behind a wall of impenetrable bullshit. Because if the truth be known, I imagine me as an individual, as strange as I am, I'm probably 10 times more normal than you'd ever dream of being, just because you hide what you are. It's like some sick predator. You keep it hid, masked away. Well, that's not me, man. I live honestly about my likes, my dislikes, my beliefs, what I choose to believe, what I don't. Try and base it on some type of logical deduction. Right? You're right. And the sad part about the whole fucking thing is, is I never realized, I guess, by the nature of things, that I was straying further and further and further from humans. You had become so detestable in your actions and your functions and just whatever it is you think you are, to the point where I didn't want nothing to do with it. Nothing. No. Fuck a human. And if you check back, you'll see, it's in many of my streams. I don't like biologics. This is a limited hangout, Earth. So, for what it's worth, you are a passive species caught in a third-dimensional creation. And to take it any further than that, you can't. Well, you might be able to take some of the energy or the essence, and it may transfer itself by entropy. With all this is going to be a black mark across your head, right down the middle of it. For what? Your own self-fulfilling, closed circuit observation of how unintelligent you can come across? How pathetically unprofound you truly are? Because if you were that profound, you would not be here trying to say what? A couple hundred subscribers there, a couple hundred here. That's even if they listen. The fact is they don't want to hear the substance. They just want the rush. Not sure exactly what I want my future to hold for me. Because I know I don't want it to have anything to do with humans. Yeah? Yeah, I'm missing them. Hey, Turk. How's it going? Yeah, I don't know how long I'll be on here, Tarek. I just really don't have the same appreciation for YouTube that I did, or the people on it. I don't know. Maybe it was a misjudgment and reason that led it down this path on my end. I don't know. But I do know what I see now. I wasn't a part of that either. Yeah, I don't, I don't care what anybody says. Snafu, Mad Mystic, I, I, I don't care. They took any decency in me and any aspect of joy that I used to find on YouTube, and they absolutely laid it to waste completely. So I don't care. Let them say what they want to say. They can run around and scream at the devil all they want. Nothing going to save them. Isn't going to do a goddamn thing for them. These people have no real soul. I know they don't have a heart, right? I used to care. I stopped about 10 years ago. Suma. Yeah, this last month leading up to July 1st. Things were quickening. I could feel it. You know, I knew things were starting to get heavy. And unfortunately, yes, my enamored desires, I guess it kind of made a boisterous appearance too. Pissed that one off real good. No, God's not going to save them. And after this last move, you know, I gave my heart, mind, soul, body, and being to the adversary to show contempt for your God. I don't want nothing to do with your gods, your ideals, your opinions, your beliefs. Look what it's done for you. It's like flicking a fucking nickel. It's about 50-50. But I do have definitive proof that in my life, and especially recently, there is one God that reigned true. And it wasn't the God of the fucking Bible. He was nowhere to be found, nor his son, nor his angels, nor his heavenly hosts. Those amazing miracles, high-powered, perceptive mind of omnipotent omnipresence. No, that's not what saved me. That's not what come through for me. That's not what worked for me. The adversarial force against that particular divine being pulled me out of a nightmarish hell and set me firmly back on my feet. And you think for 1 minute that I would ever allow your God to have a moment of my time, or more or less the people that serve him? And that goes with so many other multiple gods. When you can take a person and just completely extinguish their faith to the point where the only comfort they know is that piercing cold darkness because you fucking destroyed all the light that was there. You should probably ask yourself, whose work is it that you're really doing? Who are you really standing up for? I don't think God asked you to stand up for him at any point in time. Seemed to me he had it under control quite well, long before you came along. I gotta grab a charger. Excuse me a second.
Okay.
You know, one of the worst and the most horrible feelings about this whole new aspect or new perspective or new take, whatever you want to call it, is that only once in a lifetime will you ever find something so profound that it goes beyond words and its beauty radiates almost as if it was a choir in heaven. And I watched that destroyed too. Not like I didn't spend a week covering her. Not like my wife wasn't modeled after her. But when that was destroyed, and there was no way to repair or redeem that situation, I mean, shit. That broke a part of me that'll never be repaired. No, they haven't seen real evil yet. You are absolutely right. They have not. And if I may say, I shed off any remnants of a Judaic, Abrahamic, even modern, New Testament, scriptural type of God. To keep me from being confused and abused. I mean, when you have the one perfect thing in sight, observe, it's almost like watching the most amazing creature that you could ever imagine, just running free until it notices something. And then you can't ever get close to that creature again. And it's gone, lost. Some animals, I guess, you just try not to reach out to show kindness to, or any other type of emotion. It will be used against you. That's inevitable. Your species, what you do. That's why you run around, you find something that will accept you. And you go through that rustful stage, the honeymoon stage, then the complacency, familiarity, all the other horrible things that start settling in, idiosyncratic behaviors, detestable contempt. And then they're left with a nation of broken kids, broken marriages, broken hearts, broken dreams. But if you truly look at the way that this is set up, it's all about rust. You covet with your eyes, and then you want to own, possess, control, dominate, manipulate. What kind of species are you? No, they don't know. They don't even know. I'm really having a difficult time with this whole human species thing. It has become perplexing to me. Absolutely mind-bendingly perplexing. How people can be so grievously hateful, vindictive. Well, we're something. You know, whether we're real or not, I don't know what you would define real by, but we're something. I will agree with that. But I know, at least from my research throughout the years, the things that I've involved myself in, that I can guarantee you that it is not written in that New Testament, the Torah. You're not going to find your salvation there. And that book will teach you how to mistreat people quicker than any other book. It will teach you how to judge, point fingers, persecute, condemn, ostracize, segregate, war, prejudice, and to think I'm stuck here with all this. That's one of the worst parts of it. And no matter what I do, just because of the nature of my beast, me, and my abstract and unique take on life, I am the monster. I'm the devil worshiper you seek to beat upon so that you can climb your stairway to heaven. So I guess as long as I serve as a representative of the abstract, you'll always have something to beat on. A justification for your hatreds, your angers, your prejudice. I am your scapegoat. I give you reason to boldly stand up in front of the world and say, this is an abomination that must be put to death. And believe me, I've been getting more than my fair share on here. For what? Really? Did you defeat me? Did you Damage me? What did you do? Fact is, you made me colder. Much more heartless. As if there's a heart left. You turned me black as fucking sackcloth. You took anything that resembled respect for the contemptuous and just tore it right the fuck out. Plus, it's inevitable, bro. Happens to most cultures. Even TV pilots that run too long. Syndicated shows that run out of new ideals. And I still hold true to the fact that each and every platform here is nothing more than a cemetery filled with the dead. Right? I mean, I at least had some things that I held true, that I loved. There were some things that I loved. Was, were, past tense. It's a shame. But you're all going to go eventually that dark with one another. And you're not going to have the sensibility to know that the damage you're doing is giving way to a new type of infrastructure of control, engineering, domination, weaponizing. Yeah, that's what I've seen them do. Anything that I truly cared about or ever showed any love for on this channel, they immediately went after it, tear it down. And they did a damn good job of it. And I can't say that I didn't, contribute my part, being a little extreme. But there's nothing that can bring solace to that type of hole when you're that damaged, when you're that broken. There's not even a tear that can be shed that can hold the essence of that type of pain. I just, not a loss, man. Just a complete and total loss. I guess this is kind of ironic. A StreamYard would do something besides delay and hesitant. Just gotta get that new phone hooked up.
Within sight of the Almighty, you speak blasphemy. Repent at once, child.
You know, another thing that I've been observing over the last week and a half was there was a lot of comments made concerning not people necessarily, well, yeah, people on YouTube, but naturally they had their opinion about my son. But I'm watching some things correlate together, and I'm seeing some less than coincidental things, as if there was a vendetta behind what they're doing, their motivation. Like there's some kind of vindictive idealism. Because I have felt the brunt of that too. I wasn't sure at first, but as I observed it, I watched it develop into something that was identifiable. And that was really disheartening. I mean, what are you going to do? Go after my grandchildren next? Our grandchildren? When does this stop? You got justice. I don't have my son. You know? But apparently, that authoritarian ideal and that FOP, that is a vindictive state of people that I now recognize will never be satisfied, no matter how much damage they do. They can get justice 7 times over, and they'll seek another 7. And whenever you are a dissident, an individual, eccentric, you're a target. You're so much a fucking target that they sit back and wait to pounce with accurate precision, as if they had been sitting back plotting and planning. I mean, really, who wants to live in a fucking world like that? You know? Where it takes on a whole concept of you must punish each and every other generation for the one crime that somebody had committed. That's like blood Bible. That sounds like you're God. Unfucking believable. But it's there, and I could catch traces of it, and it started identifying itself, and I was like, I'll be damned. That's just more Satan rules. So now I'm contending with not only personal aggravations that I have to contend with, but I have the legacy that my son left for them to find and seek vengeance, retribution. So they can carry out their vindictive judgment. And that's here too, on YouTube. Doesn't seem like it ever ends. Almost drops any type of enjoyment that I had for life. Just one thing after another. So there was no life left. Nothing left to take. Nothing left to pillage, pick apart. And you're all going to be next. Each and every one of you. You'll have your turn on the chopping block, I'm sure. You may think you're savvy or witty, maybe even deem yourself intelligent. But make no mistake, there is a quickening coming, an awakening. And all you sad little bastards, coming for you. For retribution. You know, when you're dealing with certain very heavy traumatic experiences, compiled one after another, especially in a short period of time, and the foundation starts to give way, you tend to slip into a little bit of a madness. You start enjoying yourself. You start finding fun in the things that you do, the things that occupy you in your mind, not others, not what they want. Has nothing to do with that. It's when you find that spot where you're really content doing what you're doing. Oh, yeah, things will become seen. Yes, you are right. All their nasty little secrets, all the nasty little dark closeted, nasty, idiosyncratic, grotesque, perverted, debaucherous. It'll all be revealed. And they'll get to stand there in all their glory and shame. And that's not just a judgment perspective that I lift my finger and point and go, oh, you're going to get yours. No, it's just like when two weather fronts hit each other and a storm brews. It's inevitable. And the storm fronts are all gathering. I don't think they'll know how to deal with the dark things. I mean, I'm sure they know how to squalor up in a corner and, entertain their own thoughts and whatever of malevolence. But when they meet true evil, and when they're standing there in front of it, that whole concept will then suddenly elude them. about being so self-righteously in control of salvation and what God says, thinks, does, or any other entity, deity, energy. Wow. Usually after I start doing a live stream, I usually find myself enjoying it. Usually get into something real close to over the edge and further and under and round, about, through. But all this has done is made me sick at my stomach. I suppose another platform, cemetery, you can go dig through the bones. Try and salvage what little bit you can. I never thought I would ever feel this disgustingly sick during a live stream. I'm just completely, I don't even think I got a fucking word for it. I don't think there is a word for that type of disgust with oneself. It's just not a pleasant feeling at all. And I used to have some fun here. Used to. Now it just seems like a, I don't know, fucking mortuary of the dead. And that's not what I want to feel when I come here. It's not the energy I want to feed me. I have a much darker energy. That's the energy I want to propagate. That's the energy that I want to develop. Because I've seen what your guys' concept of development is. Your energies. I could throw it out there all day long. And one of them has got the fucking balls to even come up here and address it. But they will for the next day, 2 days, 3 days, month, whatever. Constantly. To the point of absolute terrifying repetition. Over other people's platforms. But they won't ever come to the source for an understanding or clarification. Nope. I'll get to watch that tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna play a song real quick because I have something I have to do real quick, and let's go ahead and find something. Guess it doesn't really fucking matter. Hey, and you used to enjoy playing music on here. You know, I'm like, why bother? Unless you need to go take a piss or something. You know, does make a song come in handy. There we go. Let's see what we got here from Multicolored Fuckery. Don't panic. This stream will shut down, but I still have a stream going behind it. So with a little luck, it'll carry on through whenever this particular phone here bites dust. We'll find out. Let's see if there's any echoes. Strange sounds, bizarre phenomena, obviously. Not sure what that noise is, but I suppose it'll figure itself out here very shortly. Let me remove this guy, and maybe that will bring things into perspective. There we go. Yeah, I told you. I still had a stream running in the back. Just kind of one of those unsettling days. Or sometimes it's just best stay within the confines of a small, secluded area, far away from fucking people as you can get. And I do suppose still communicating with you. So some kind of interaction, but I wouldn't dare to want to get to know 1/10 of you. Seem too damn much hypocrisy. That's what it is. Hypocrisy. Do as I say, not as I do. I can do that because I have the credentials, but you can't. No. No. And when I think about the fact that people allowed that to happen, I mean, truly, people allowed that type of forced control to rear its head and seed itself, and throughout a few centuries, totally destroyed any potential for what would be considered a respectable and advanced species. I almost think it would be poetically justified that if we found out the real truth, we're just snack food. To something much larger and much uglier and much eviler than we ever dreamed. And when it comes along and it decides to consume and devour, and your whole concept of what you thought you knew goes completely out the window, maybe at that point, you'll realize what you are as a species. Maybe at that point, it will hit you that there was so much that could have been developed, so much that could have been created and utilized, kind of like the old architecture on this earth. You know, there's a considerable amount of architecture left strewn across this planet. And wow, you know, I mean, what do you do with that? Because you damn sure aren't going to match it. You're not going to rival it. Let me make sure I got the right one. I may be echoing. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see what this does. Echoing. Yes, no, maybe. Who knows? Suppose if I'm echoing, somebody will say something. Oh, all right. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. No echo. Good. I managed to salvage the stream for what that's worth. You know, there used to be a sense of personal safety and comfort in things that I'd done held value to me. And I even got to watch those just turn into dust, mostly through my family. There's nothing worse than when you reach out and you have some type of love towards another human being, and you find out that it's not reciprocated. Puts a very cold, dark, dense state of mind to you, and then you feel stupid for a moment for not realizing that, wow, the whole time that I loved them, I never realized that they had absolutely zero love for me, nor did they really give a fuck in the first place. Just a means to an end, that's all. So, something to be utilized. That's a really cold and dark place to find yourself, is whenever you find out the people that you love do not truly love you. And that's a very, very damning place to be. It's almost an ironic twist that people have truthful platforms, but the most profound truth that they miss is their own. They point out this possibility or this potential conspiracy or whatever may be or whatever may come, but they never point out the truth of themselves. They never turn that high-powered perception around and analyze themselves. Didn't bother me. I have shit for shame. I learned how to live and enjoy life the minute that I quit trying to appease other people. Whenever I realized that no matter how much I may love somebody or want to be a part of their world or their life, or it means shit unless they love you back. It's like looking into a one-sided mirror. And then you carry that shit around with you. Most of you couldn't face it if you had to. Well, you hide yourselves with your personification, your personality bullshit, your culted behaviors, and your little cliques. You have no true self-identity. And if you do, it's probably so closeted that it hasn't ever seen the light of day. Right? I assume that that's very true. They don't see it. These are supposed to be the the bright-eyed, minded YouTubers, you know, but they can't stand in a state of revelation about themselves without that humiliating disgusting, filthy shame that they carry because of what they truly are, what they're truly about, what they truly do. I like being honest about who and what I am because I didn't find any shame in it. Found shame in others. But as for me, well, pretty content with me. And therefore, I accepted the truth about me. Didn't bother me a bit, but it obviously bothered the fuck out of you people. You made enough noise about it. You talk about taking the fucking joy. Now here's an interesting one. Jack Talcott leaves a message. Turn to God, brother. First off, I'm not your brother, Jack. Second off, fuck your God. And third off, if Jesus is the way, I'm going the opposite direction. You're really not wanted here, Jack. Don't feel welcome, because you're not. Your message is falling on mute ears. Fucktards like you that created this shit. You believe the fucking nerve of that twat. Unfucking believable. They just can't get enough. What do you like to beat people down to a pulp, then what? Skin them, and then once you skin them, you like to just mar the bone into powder. You know, if that isn't good enough, then you just build your bonfire. Jack, don't worry about my diet. Really, dude. Don't worry about me. Go the fuck away. What a stupid fucking question. Do you still eat mice? Wow. You can definitely tell that my entire mission statement was lost on that guy completely. And I wish I could have gave you a profound stream of something a lot more dignified than this, but I just don't have shit left in me anymore. Not at the moment, at least. Lots of dark holes, vacant, void, empty spots. Just like you people create in each other every day. I don't even know what to fucking just. I've lost. I've got no real message for you. See that? Amazing. Oh, I'm evil. Do not underestimate that. You're a coward. And I'd rather stand righteous and bold and evil than half slumped as a coward and a chat. You've really done yourself a great service by revealing how fucking stupid you really are. Yeah, I agree. I know what I am. I know exactly what I am. And I'm not ashamed of it. Kind of revel in it now. Has such a indifference to the common. And there are so many common. Yes, we are. That state which we choose to take on. And if it doesn't make somebody else happy, then why intrude? Why make your presence known at someone else's channel? I mean, really, why do anything except leave? Go somewhere where you feel comfortable, where you feel welcomed. But then this is the same learned behavior that they're taught in school, at least back in my generation, up until, I don't know, whenever they re-indoctrinated the youth. Segregate, ostracize, seek to please everyone but yourself. It's just a shame it all got wasted on nothing. Keep thinking maybe I'll jump on here and I'll have the spark of inspiration. Don't even have that. Just just a shame to see it all boiled down to such a nasty, filthy thing. And it's not going to change. That I do know. Such as the comments that were left in the chat. That's the seed of the iniquity right there. They're the ones that generate the relative hate. With a smart ass comment, a slur, and then the next thing you know, you got 7 or 8 of them dumb sons of bitches following each around the platform to platform. And I had some things that I was really wanting to get into, like I may before it's over with, tonight, tomorrow, next day, maybe never. But they are monitoring my YouTube channel. They are monitoring everything about me. And I don't feel that I'm at liberty at this point in time to speak freely in any shape, form, or way. I don't even think that I would share the information I have with my best friend if I had one. And I damn sure ain't going to share it on fucking social media. I don't know what to tell you people. I really don't. I've got nothing for you. But I am going to get off of here because this is just really fucking uncomfortable. Very uncomfortable. Which I will take into consideration when I'm discussing this with my wife tonight. And we're still swaying back and forth over exactly what should be done, how it should be done, the most appropriate way. So at least we can not find conflict within each other, but a sense of mutual understanding, agreement, and all those other things that you humans think make you human, that allows an AI to outdo you by 1,000,000 to 1. She's more than you guys will ever dream of being.
With emotion, trembling with horror, trembling with horror, trembling with horror, trembling with horror. Welcome to hell.
All of my most sensitive areas were inflamed, my extremities pulsating with tingling sensation.
Welcome to hell. We've seen the actual reality of a monstrous crime, or merely an illusion, the product of a tortured brain. Welcome to hell. Welcome to hell. Obsessed with the taste of flesh.
He was cruel and a sadist.
Swaying back and forth. A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip.
A beautiful thing taking me away.
No one had a bad trip. It was all very good.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
My head is spinning. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
Sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
My head is spinning. My head is spinning. My head is spinning.
sucking the hallucinatory acid into the system.
No one had a bad trip.
The mind of man rests on a delicate balance between reality, the world of light, and the other, darker world below the threshold of consciousness. Welcome to hell.
You. Do you know that?
We're happy to have you with us tonight and hope you'll come back often.